Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Jennifer Thompson. I am your intuitive realtor. I work out of Midland, Ontario with RE/MAX Georgian Bay. And today is Monday, May 17th. And so I have the stats here for the last 7 days for specific parts of Southern Georgian Bay. So I have Barrie, Aurelia, Midland, Penetanguishene, Tiny, and Tay townships. And if you stick around, I will share with you the energy reading for the week. So thanks for joining me. And so let's start with Barrie. So Barrie in the last 7 days has had 74 single family homes come on the market. The average list price for these homes has been $782,766, and the average sold price has been $801,562. Now in Aurelia, in the last 7 days, there's been 11 listings. Average list price has been $784,671, and the average sold price has been $653,500. In Midland, we've had 14 new listings come on in the last 7 days, and the average list price has been $517,110. And the average sold price has been $663,567. In Penetanguishene, we've had 9 new listings in the last 7 days. Average list price has been $775,190, and the average sold price has been $526,500. In Tiny Township, we've had 21 new listings in the last week. Average list price $798,700, and the average sold price has been $1,078,250. And finally, in Tay Township, we've had 11 listings come on the market, and the average list price has been $589,773, and the average sold price has been $681,875. So that's it. So market's still pretty much the same. There's lots of multiple offers, but there's more houses that are actually being sold for list price or a little bit under. So it's not as crazy. We're all just kind of sitting back, waiting to see what's going to happen and where it's going to go. Still, hard to get in, if you're just trying to get into the market. Prices are still holding really, really strong, although there have been some price drops, but it's still very sporadic in that, some places will come on the market and they'll have multiple offers and it'll sell for, 100,000 over. And yet there's these other listings that hit the market that will sit there for a week or two with no offers, and then the actual prices are coming down. So, it's a mixed bag, really. So anyways, if you stick around, I'm going to do the energy reading next, and we'll see you soon. And if you don't, then thank you for joining me, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to this week's energy reading. Today is Monday, May the 17th, and I've already shuffled and laid out the deck. I'm doing it a little bit different this week. I have done 3 rows. So each row has a different intention. So the first row is the current energies. The second row is the energies that are coming in. And then the third row is messages from your higher self, just to keep it interesting and keep me on my toes. I like to try different things and play around. So, okay, let's see. I'm just going to turn them over here. And actually, I'm going to turn them all over at once, for something different. Just to be different. Okay. So, ooh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so current energies. So the card at the top. So across the top, I'm using Wisdom of the Oracle. So that's just for kind of the overall energies for each row. And then I'm using the enchanted map for more detail in each row. So the current energies, the card at the top for the overall energies is the Peace card. So the feeling with this card is Oh, yes, I would say this is true for me too. I wonder if the weather has something to do with it. It's just the days have been beautiful, and there's just been this sense of um, almost like a calmness or inner peace, that some things that we have been unsure about have calmed down, and maybe don't seem so prevalent anymore. A lot of the uncertainty and challenges that we were going through don't seem as prominent. Things are looking more positive, and so which is bringing about a feeling of inner peace. Uh, so then from there, now I've had this card before, the Dragon's Lair. And you know what? I can't remember what it meant, because this one throws me off. I get caught up in my head in this one. You're always protected and divinely directed. Okay. Yeah, it's about, being on the path and being challenged. So the current energies, yes, we have been challenged by our directions and what direction we're going to take. And then also in this reading, or in this particular row, there's those challenges, but in challenges in making the choices, but then and knowing what no longer serves us and coming into that awareness. But there's also saying goodbye. So I'm going to show you that card there for the Dragon's Lair. So it's trusting that you're always divinely directed, but it's also being challenged because you don't know where that path is going to go. And you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you just have to have that trust. But it shouldn't stop you from making those choices and letting fear control that. And in those choices, they're saying goodbye. They're saying goodbye to, old ways of being, things that are comfort zone, beliefs that we've held, and saying goodbye to that, and realizing, our people in our lives, and knowing that, it's part of the process of evolution. Changing and growing is always, it's always happening, but we're in a massive, accelerated rate of growth right now. And it is challenging, and it really keeps us on our toes, and it can be very stressful. And there's a lot of change happening for a lot of us. So it is saying goodbye to relationships, to a lifestyle or a way of living, things that we held close to us, that were important to us, have maybe fallen apart, or we see through them now. The truth has come out, and we realize that it was never what we thought it was, that it was all a facade. And so it's about we're being gentle. We have to be gentle with ourselves, and allow yourselves to feel that sense of loss, and to give it the respect and attention that it deserves. Don't get mired in it and lost in it. Allow yourself that time. But also with the last card here too, it's about strength. So it's finding strength in yourself. You are super strong. You can handle anything. And it's about trusting again that you're always held and protected and loved, and finding your strength in that, and that everything is for your highest good, for your highest intention. So the next row, for the energies coming in, we have the very first card is Fork in the Road. So this is about making a choice down a different path. To me, the fork in the road is always about choice. Do I go this way, or do I go this way? So the first card that falls under that is listening. So it's about listening to your higher self, listening to those nudges, listening to the little voice within you, not your ego voice, but your intuition, listening to where you feel the music. I don't know if you can see there's little musical notes here. But music is, vibrations and all that. Like everything is a vibration, but it's about the ones that bring you joy. There's I could see it's a little bird on top of the elephant's head. So I guess it's the bird that's singing. Listen to, maybe listen to the birds and be inspired through their music and their song. Get grounded, if that helps you find that space within you, that voice within you. This is an amazing card. Magical Shapeshifter. So this is about knowing that, if something comes up for you that maybe you want to follow through on, or say an idea or an opportunity, something you've never ever considered for yourself before, totally different from anything you've ever imagined yourself doing it. Well, to me, this card is about remembering that you're not stuck in any particular role. And if you have, questions or fears around, well, what will people think if I do something that's totally outside of what I normally do? That's about them. You need to trust that, you're on the right path for you. And if it's something you've never ever done before, but you find you're excited about it, or you feel a spaciousness with it or a lightness with it, then that's where you need to go. And you don't need to know all the parts of that. Just start making steps towards it, and everything will fall into place to support that. And you might be pleasantly surprised that the people you thought were going to judge you harshly are the ones who actually become your biggest supporters. And this is just, actually I didn't even look at this card, Into the Unknown. So it just confirms what I just said about taking that leap of faith and moving into an area or that path that you don't know what it's going to be, and it's something totally different. But again, it's having the trust, and that, yes, it is maybe completely unknown to you. So messages from your higher self. So the first card that comes up is Chaos and Conflict. So to me, this is about you perhaps feeling like things are in chaos. And I think oftentimes when we're letting go of old things and new things are coming, and we're in this transition, it does feel very chaotic. But I think it's important to remember that it's temporary, and there always has to be a shift of old energy out for new energies to come in and take form. Because in that space of pure potentiality, anything can happen. But it's allowing that space within you so it can. And yes, it does mean letting old thoughts, belief systems, and old ways of being dissolve, so you can open up to the new ones. And what this is going to do with this next one is bring you into a new way of being that will bring you so much joy that you've never imagined for yourself. And so it's going to lead you on a path that is going to bring you more joy and happiness and fulfillment, contentment, little by little, little by little. So one step at a time, slow and easy, or slow and steady, as this card indicates. So just keep, again, it always comes back to trust. I keep wanting to come back and say trust, 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 trust. Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the universe. It's a process. It really is a process. So one step at a time. Again, you don't need to know the whole outcome and every little detail, but just, knowing what your next step is. That's all you ever have to do. And that is being in the flow. So being open to whatever comes up, just being in acceptance. Okay, well, this is the way it is. Okay, well, how am I going to navigate this? You just navigate it, and and just accept it what it is and trust. Again, trust, trust, trust. Wow, that seems to be my magic word today. Trust, trust, trust. I think I have a t-shirt that says trust on it. I should have worn that, I guess. Okay, so now I'm just for fun, I'm looking at the corners of the cards. So up here we have the chaos and conflict, and then we have the strength card in this corner. So out of chaos and conflict, you do find strength, or that builds strength. And so to me, those match very, very well. Up here we have peace, and down here magic stream. So yes, there is peace, being in the flow of life. Let's see what else we have here. Even in the chaos and conflict and being in the flow with that, it doesn't have to be like stop and start in that chaos and conflict, but you know, you can be in the flow of life with that too, because it's part of things changing. And when you're in acceptance and you just roll with it, brings about a sense of peace as well. Fork in the road into the unknown. So yes, making a choice of which path. You don't know all the details of where that choice is going to go. You don't have to worry about making a mistake. There are no mistakes. So your higher self is guiding you. So each one is going to ultimately lead you where you're meant to go. It's just how you're going to get there. And strength and peace are opposites here too in this row, because, I like that, the strength and the peace, because you can find strength from that inner peace, coming back and being grounded and rooted in yourself, and be strong from there. When you're grounded, you're strong. You can't get caught up into the whirlwind of things happening in the world, or getting caught up emotionally, or your ego when you're triggered, when circumstances or people trigger you in the world. So I hope you liked this reading this week. I hope it wasn't too, I hope it made sense. So just something a little bit different. So overall, it's about, it's still really all about transformation. All these readings are about transformation. But I think it's because we're always in transition. It's just we're in a accelerated growth period right now. And again, having that trust, knowing there's going to be challenges and conflict and chaos, but that's part of the journey. And but by being grounded in yourself, having trust in yourself and the universe and your higher self, know that you're always being divinely guided. You're always supported, even though you don't know what's coming ahead. But it's always going to take you to a better version of yourself. And I think that's it. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me this week. So I invite you to come back again next week. I hope to see you again. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I love you so much. And remember, you are loved, you're love, and I love you. Take care. Bye for now.